Section 04 of Uncle Josh's Punkin Center Stories by Cal Stewart. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Philip Martin. Uncle Josh in a Chinese Laundry. I suppose I got tangled up the other day with the doggonedest looking critter I calculate I ever seen in all my born days, and I've been around pretty considerable. I'd seen all sorts of curiosities and monstrosities in circuses and menageries, but that was the first time I'd ever seen a critter with his head and tail on the same end. You see, I said to a feller, "Now whereabouts in New York do you folks get your washing done?" When I left home to come down here, I allowed I had enough with me to do me, but I've stayed here a little longer than I calculated to. And if I don't get some washing done pretty soon, I'll have to go and jump in the river. Well, he was a obliging sort of feller, and he told me there was a place round the corner where a feller done all the washing. So I went round, and there was a sign on the winder that said hop quick or hop soon or jump up and hop or some other kind of darn hop, and then there was a lot of figures on the winder that I couldn't make head nor tail of. It just looked to me like a chicken with mud on its feet had walked over that winder. Well, I went in to see about getting my washing done, and gosh all spruce gum, there was one of them pigtailed heathen Chinese. He just looked for all the world like a picture on Aunt Nancy Smith's teacups. I was sort of sot back for a minute, 'cause I said to myself, I don't s'pose this darn critter can talk English, but seeing as how I'm in here, I might as well find out. So I told him I'd like to get him to do some washing for me, and he commenced to talking some outlandish lingo. Sounded to me like cider running out of a jug. Something like tung uwang fang kai mu ungu wee very good washi. Well, I understood the last of it and just took his word for the rest. So I give him my clothes, and he give me a little yeller ticket that he painted with a brush what he had, and I'll just bet a yoke of steers agin the holler in a log that no living mortal man could read that ticket. It looked like a fly had fell into the ink bottle and then crawled over the paper. Well, I showed it to a gentleman what was a-standing there when I come out, and I said to him, "Mister, what in thunder is this here thing?" And he said, "Well, sir, that's a sort of a lottery ticket. Every time you leave your clothes there to have 'em washed, you get one of them tickets, and then you have a chance to draw a prize of some kind." So I said, "Well, now I want to know how much is this blamed thing worth?" And he said, "I suppose about 10 cents. And I told him if he wanted my chance for 10 cents, he could have it. I didn't want to get tangled up in any lottery gambling business with that saucer-faced scamp. So he give me 10 cents, and he took the ticket, and in a couple of days I went around to get my washing. And that pig-tailed heathen, he wouldn't let me have 'em, 'cause I'd lost that lottery ticket. So I said, "Now look here, Mr. Hopsoon, if you don't hop around and get me my collars and cuffs and other clothes what I left here, I'll be darned if I don't flop you in about a minute." "I will, by chowder." Well, that critter, he commenced hopping around and talking faster'n a buzz saw could turn, and all I could make out was, "Me song lay tong me lo lo long lay say me ticky." Well, I seen just as plain as could be that he was a-trying to swindle me out'n my clothes, so I made a grab for him, and in less'n a minute we was a-rolling around on the floor. First I was on top, then Mr. Hopsoon was on top, and you couldn't have told which one of us the pigtail belonged to. We upset the stove and kicked out the winder, and I set Mr. Hopsoon in the wash tub. And when I got out of there, I had somebody's washing in one hand and about 5 yards of that pigtail in t'other, and Mr. Hopsoon, he was standing there yelling, "Wa mo si kong kai li ku yung yung awi police, police, police." I had quite a time with that heathen critter. End of Uncle Josh in a Chinese Laundry.